her wedding day. I don't.
What's up, guys? It's the Minty Caliber here, chilling with S13 the Beast. After he knocks his camera down. And S13 Tarot, aka Tarot Storm on YouTube, the little with an attitude. Or the little with a camera, whichever you prefer. And what are we coming to talk about, Beast?
No. I'm taking all of it. Okay.
No, not all of it, because you still need to ask him about his experiences.
Yeah, I will, but we're gonna get there really quickly because it is 20 to 4 in the morning. I'm tired, which means I'm cranky. My mouth is sore, and I want to do that. So basically, we had some issues with the previous member who used to be S13 Motor, whose name is Georgia Georgia Rebel. Georgia Rebel, Dipping Coke 90 on YouTube, and his name's Josh Whittier. Okay? So basically, I made a post on my Instagram, which was a sensitive matter, and he made an incredibly insensitive comment on it, which included a bunch of hashtags and stuff. When I asked him to elaborate, he got incredibly defensive. And then he slid into my DMs, fed me some bullshit about him defending a 16-year-old from someone harassing him, even though she doesn't know where the block button is. Am I going too fast? Am I skipping over important things, or do you guys think I'm good?
I mean, it's all pretty much right there and forward right there, yeah.
Cool. So
You mess up. I'll kill you.
Love you. Anyway.
No pressure.
So anyway, I didn't just block him, and then he changes the subject. He brings it to a subject which I was not comfortable in, which he knew I was. Alpha got very angry, started a group chat, which he was like, "Well, why are you doing these things? Like, this is like an uncomfortable subject, and why are you talking about it?" To which he got really defensive, and friends, you don't want to piss me off, and getting to like the interesting things or whatever is fuck me. Getting into it, like, basically what happened was he got really defensive over things that happened in the past, and I brought up why these things happened. He skipped over the reasoning and just continued to get angrier and more defensive. Like, he just kept backhanding every time he saw like previous stuff that I'm pretty sure we made videos on. He just kept pretty much jumping over any argument I gave him and just kept getting angrier. So it seemed. So I started taking digs at him because that was that. And he ended up blocking me. He unblocked me. Yes, Beast.
Just to reiterate, I think I can answer this really quickly. Previous thing we're talking about, there were unanimous votes for him to getting out the first time. Primarily, we were all female at one point in time. We had like 19 members. They didn't feel comfortable within the group. My philosophy on it is, we're in this like a internet family. It's kind of like a safe haven for us to come out and hang out. If people are feeling uncomfortable, that kind of eliminates the point, right? So that's the reason he was kind of kicked out the first time. Second time, we brought him back in on the fact that actually Tarot is the one that brought him back in, because there was a situation. He actually did take care of it as a valiant soldier that he was at the time. Again, I think it also kind of alludes to this situation where he'll do anything to kind of get back in this moniker in his front of his name. Something about the S13 is so alluring to him that I don't understand, but whatever. I like it in front of my name, but I don't know. Maybe it's like the Cadillac symbol or something. Point is, the second time, there was a lot of inconsistencies in the stories. It was Tara started feeling like, you know what, this isn't. The dude's not being for real. The dude's not real. The dude's not upfront. He's not keeping a 100, right? Let's keep like the new kids. Anyway, um, so again, that rule comes back into play again. People are feeling uncomfortable. This is kind of our hangout spot. I don't want to come into a bunch of drama. I don't think anybody here wants to come in a lot of drama. I'm pretty sure the people viewing this video, if you had a spot where you hung out with your friends, do you want a lot of drama when that happens? Probably not. I'm going to guess that if you're a normal person, most likely you don't. So, again, couldn't be part of the group. So, again, this all stems back to the fact that then he's trying to say that me and Kyle is like his friends in this whole matter. It's all the tyranny of Alpha and Tara over here. No, not the case. Because here's the thing. I had a couple conversations with him, very, very unheartful conversations. It's more like somebody you would meet on the street, like, hey, you use a vapor? Yeah, you use a vape stick? Yeah, that's cool. This is what I use. Oh, okay. That's banter back and forth. It's somebody you would meet on the street kind of banter, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was a good cat. I don't think he's a good cat now, considering he took a freaking situation that a friend of mine took very seriously. It was something dramatic that happened to her. He took it as a ploy to get back into a group, to get a moniker in his name, and that lewd my friend. You can go hurt yourself. That's all I can say about that. But so kind of goes from there where he's trying to say that him or Kyle's even a friend, right? Well, as Taro can tell you here, she actually messaged him on the ordeal. So I'll let you kind of take it from there.
I messaged him and I expressed that Motor had threatened me, which at the end of all the messaging, he did threaten me. And I pretty much asked Kyle to tell Motor to fuck himself and block him, and Kyle didn't make any hesitation, and then told me that he has never been Motor's friend and he never will be. So.
To reiterate why we're going really kind of like in a fast-paced motion is because we kind of like record this like 6 or 7 times. We wanted to get it perfect for you people and want to make it entertaining. I hope that's kind of coming across. I actually think this is the best recording we've done so far. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm actually very optimistic about this one. So, let's go on with that. I do want to point out that there is issues that actually Alpha did have, and like you have to understand the construction of the group. Yes, there's me and Beauty in the group that is a couple in the group. Obviously, we're married and all that, and we have 2 beautiful kids. Annoying at times, whatever. And neither here nor there. Love them to death either way. Not the point. Point is, the ones that are more predominant in the group, because obviously, distance is an issue, and obviously, they want to spend all their time with each other, which is great. I think it's a beautiful thing. But they also want to hang out with friends too. So, I mean, this becomes like a crossroads, I guess. So, so the group is very, anybody who comes in this group gets a big dose of the relationship, which is good. It's not a bad thing. And, they keep their personal stuff personal, and they keep their, social being, out in the crowd very very chilled and laid back. So that being said, there's a lot of times where Alpha was having issues. I think he wants to chime in on that, I'm sure.
Yes, I will try and say this as fast as I can. Probably not as fast as these two, because I'm not a fast talker.
Yeah, we sound like chipmunks hyped up on Happy.
All right,
New Yorker.
Let's go back. How long ago you think it was?
October.
Yeah, well, we're not. We're actually going to the very first time he tried to one-up me. So how many months you think? At least over 5, right?
Yeah, over 5.
So
yeah.
about over 5 months ago. Go ahead.
I lived in this house, so September.
All right, so there was one occasion where I was wearing an Air Force shirt because I'm a big supporter of the military. Well, Motor goes to his closet, pulls out an Air Force shirt, the same exact kind that I had on, puts that on. Then he takes that off and then goes to his closet and gets his ROTC uniform. Well, actually, it's Junior ROTC, but besides the point. he gets his ROTC uniform and puts that on, and thinking to myself, this dude is a fucking tool. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
So that was one incident, and then the next incident actually happened around well, when was it? November.
Yeah.
I was in November. In November, I was on vacation in Missouri. I was staying at my aunt's house, trailer, whichever you want to call it. I was staying in the back room, which gets really cold from time to time, so I decided to put a jacket on one night. Now, 20 minutes pass. Tara looks up at me and says, "Damn, you look sexy in flannel." And keep in mind, had the jacket on for 20 minutes. Motor didn't do a damn thing. But as soon as she said that, he goes to his closet, pulls out this cut-off flannel. I don't know if you would call it a t-shirt. I wouldn't really call it a t-shirt, but like a button-up shirt, like Larry the Cable Guy wears.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah, it's a cut-off button-up flannel shirt. And I'm just thinking to myself, because and then he sits down and stares at the camera, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what? She was talking to me. She has no interest in you. Stop trying to be the alpha dog here. It's not working. Yeah. Anyways, I will let my fiance continue. Yeah, with the messages.
Okay. So, after I start taking digs at him, he's starting to get like all angry, and he blocks me, and then he unblocks me. And we go on about the him faking things and stuff like that, and just, things weren't adding up and why he got kicked out. He was like, "Oh, you never liked me at all." I'm like, "Actually, I did used to like you, and then you got really creepy, and I didn't want to really be around you anymore, but like, I'm the one who brought you back, and now I definitely don't like you because you've taken multiple misfortunes of mine and tried to turn them into things about yourself." Yes.
To reiterate, just to kind of make this a quick thing for the viewers here. First incident was with Taro individually is she is diagnosed with
dissociative disorder and dissociative identity disorder.
Right.
Can I iterate something else? The first
incident, iterate for my iteration.
The first incident was actually with Mandy.
Yes, but I was going with more of like a personalized with Taro.
Specifically about me.
Okay.
But yes, you are correct. It was where he was actually very, very stalker stare on her derriere. Yeah. I guess that's the best way to put it. That's what keeps it PC. Anyway, that's where the females we were talking about earlier, they didn't want him in the group anymore. They didn't feel comfortable because obviously he would do certain things like that all the time, like look into the camera, hover over the camera, and breathe very heavily into it constantly. But neither here nor there.
Which might I add, weirded me the fuck out.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was a little unnerving at times when you look over at the Skype call and you look at like all the little bubbles in the top because you didn't kind of maximize them all, and you're like, there's that one freaking thing. It's like, okay, man, you need to calm it down, dude.
Let's get something straight. Yeah, that's like that. But Beast breathes heavy, but breathe. Beast is also a mouth breather.
Yeah, I'm a mouth breather, and it's not the nostril thing. Anywho, on subject again here, getting right back in the groove. Okay, so basically, she has this that disorder. I guess, is it a disorder? Is it what they call it? Yeah, I guess it would be disorder. I don't want to step on your toes on that. Yeah. So touchy. I try to be the most like appropriate. You know what I mean? You got me.
Yeah. You're a big local bear. Carry on.
Anywho, and there's another rebuttal before I get started.
Can I say what the disorder actually is?
I already did.
The medical term. Did you? It's actually dissociative identity disorder.
I said that I have disassociation and dissociative identity disorder.
Okay.
They're two different things.
Well, it works out. We're going. We got it all. We got it both going on there. So, so basically, she had a I don't know if you would call it an episode. She had a shift, basically. I guess we're going to call it a shift into another person, which she's had prior to this. It's just that they weren't as noticeable, I guess, because like there's a lot of if
Anyway,
there's some that are same, some are not. There was one that was completely different from the norm that she normally is. Let's put it that way. So it was very noticeable when it happened. Um, Demented Caliber, he knows how to talk to her when she goes into these different things. The way to talk, and he was kind of telling us how to interact. Try to make it so everything was comfortable and copacetic, basically. And Motor, on the other hand, he decides he's going to, and the best way to describe this, in all honesty, he turns into a reptile. I don't know how to put that any way. I mean, there's no way to put it in a
lightning manner.
Right. There's no lightning manner. There's no way to even make it less funny. He literally starts acting like a snake, like he doesn't, like he's like coming out of like his skin, and he starts to slither and hiss and tongue roll, and I don't know what else to say about it. I mean that's pretty much what it goes on. That was the first major incident that we noticed, and I can pretty much tell you that I was uncomfortable. I know that she was definitely uncomfortable. Obviously she felt vulnerable at that point, and to use that, and then basically at the end of it saying that this happens all the time. You never showed symptoms of this any other time. This was never brought up any other time. That you've never told. Okay, I would have remembered a conversation where somebody would tell me, "Hey, by the way, sometimes I turn into a snake." I think I might remember that, maybe. But as a person that I am, I gave the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, maybe it does happen. Maybe he's never been around the situation. Maybe he's affected by it differently. Maybe he just doesn't know. Cool, whatever. We went our merry way, right?
Yeah.
We I don't even think I think we kicked him out of the. Yes, you most likely. Okay, yes,
so where it went from there is like months later, we were all talking, and we noticed that despite me disassociating several times, like a week since then, no such incident occurred. So
exactly.
we got to talking, and we confronted him about it, and he, stuck to whatever he was saying. He ended up, during this confrontation, which was private confrontation, it wasn't like in the main group, it wasn't public, it was private. He starts to fake a panic attack. And the only reason I say fake a panic attack is you can't speak while you're having a panic attack. I believe they'll just still agree with me on this. They both had panic attacks.
Right.
You can't speak fluently. Like, you can't, like, this is how I normally speak. When I'm having a panic attack, I cannot speak very fluently at all. And after speaking to a therapist who has, for 15 years, watched people on almost a daily basis have panic attacks, he told me in his 15 years, no one's been able to speak in fluent sentences.
Exactly, and that's because they're speaking in broken English. They're trying to grasp what they're trying to say. They can't put it into words. And this is exactly how it was. It was him holding his chest. I'm having a panic attack. I don't know what to do. Okay, at that point in time, when you can say the full sentence, "I'm having a panic attack," guess what? You're not having a panic attack. It's just not possible.
It's like when you go, I can't breathe. You can talk.
You're pushing air through that system. I don't know how you're doing it when you can't breathe, but it's fantastic. You must be a magician. Yeah.
Perfect example. You called me when you were talking to Beast, and you were going through your own issue. Besides the point, a perfect example of a panic attack is when I typed to her. I didn't actually say it out loud, and like when she called me, she could tell I was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not a feeling that you want to say you have, or you're having.
It's not something you want to pretend to have. It's not a great thing. It's terrifying. And
Right.
I had an ex who used to do the same thing constantly, and that's why, like, he used to talk too. He's like, "Oh, I'm having a panic attack," and it's like, get the fuck up and finish your job.
And the thing is, I don't know why anybody would want to glorify a panic attack. I've had one. It makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel weak. not in control of what's going on. It's a horrible feeling. Anybody who'd want to, oh yeah, I have panic attacks. So you want to say that you are having a weak moment? That's fine. To each their own. I mean, but I'd rather not have them, and I would never say I'd never had them. I would love to be able to say that. But facts are facts. Faking is faking. I mean, that's it's black and white. I mean, that's what it is.
But that was the second time he was kicked out. Was things weren't adding up, and then during a conversation, it kind of seemed to make light of the situation or to try and fake something to get out of the situation. So he was removed from the group again. And the only other thing I really want to touch on, like I'm gonna go to the end of the thingy. So I took a final dig at him where I basically said, oh, you let this 23-year-old mentally ill twig bitch dominate you. Yeah, you're such a man, basically. Which, I mean, if you're a man who likes being dominated, that's great for you. I was trying to hurt him.
Right.
And he basically says, he starts going on about, you don't want to piss me off. When I get pissed off, I blacked out. When I black out, I've choked out my entire family. First off, you belong in a padded cell. Second off, that's not something to be proud of. Third off, put your money where your mouth is, show up at my fucking door, and see what the fuck happens. And you better hope that when you hit me the first time, I don't get back up. I do not take threats lightly, and that's basically what it is. When someone threatens me, put your money where your mouth is, get the fuck over here, and you better hope that when you hit me first, I don't get back up. Here we are.
Yeah, and you better hope her sister isn't around.
She'll beat the fuck out of you. Anyway, I'm going to quickly touch on the post itself.
Yes.
So the post was a very sensitive topic. He made an insensitive remark, but the thing that was like the worst about it is when the sensitive subject happened, when it was at its peak, when it was being dealt with in its full form. He knew everything about it because he was a member of the group. He knew what happened, when it happened, who it happened to, and he knew all of it. He saw the emission of it. Like he saw everything about it because it was talked about in the group because I required friends at the time. So to make such an insensitive comment on something he knew about in detail, I took as a great offense.
And to reiterate, I don't know if this is mentioned because we've recorded this a couple times, so I don't know what time we said it and we didn't say it. That's just being fair. So I will say this. I think we mentioned that the post was, and then I believe we said that he said we're going to stand up and do this as stand up against rape and blah blah. I want to innovate that the reason that we consider that disingenuine, and I want to put this out clearly, is the reason is because when you try to make a statement for a friend or any type of comforting, you don't add hashtags like it's some kind of movement. Okay, you try to comfort your friend on a personal level, and then maybe you guys can come to some kind of thing like, yes, we'll do something together, if that's what you're wanting to do in the first place. But don't make a broad thing that, first of all, you didn't back up. Second of all, you put hashtags on there to get attention, let's be honest. And then you immediately after the fact get your little, oh yeah, I said this. By the way, can I come back to the group? Wait a second. So you're just basically commenting to say I did a good thing. Can I come back in the group? That's not how this works, son. So that's where we're coming off that this is a disingenuine comment that he made. It's insensitive and it's disrespectful. That's where we come up. That's where basically I wanted to kind of clarify that because I didn't know if we clarified it on this recording.
Like off that post, I had complete strangers write me a full fucking 6-paragraph thing to me in broken English because I don't think English is their first language, and it was more genuine than what someone who was supposed to be my friend said to me, a complete stranger. Yes, yeah, you can take the floor and keep it and then end the video.
All right.
I want to make a final thought though.
All right. Well, I can tell you that the messages she got were genuine because I actually read them, and my heart itself was touched. I thought it was the sweetest thing somebody's ever done. Not very many people will go out of their way to do something like that. Besides the point. I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Okay, I guess I'll make my final point then, and then we'll kind of do. Or you got something? Yeah,
I got it. So he wants to. All right. So Motor, I don't know if you touched on that or either of you touched on that, but he tried to make it like it was just me and Taro kicking him out.
Right.
This last
think
time,
we've
I
touched
had
on-
Jack all to do with it.
Right.
I asked you two what y'all want to do. Y'all said y'all want to kick him out, so that's what we went with. But I personally didn't give two fucks.
No, my final
that
thought
the-
is this.
Because at the time,
yeah.
I was going through my own issues.
Which, I mean, everybody has their own issues and entitled to that. The thing is, people in the group felt uncomfortable. Again, I can care less who's, to be honest, I get along with anybody. Everybody knows that. This is what I do. Just who I am. I don't cause conflict with people. Just not my thing. I didn't want him in the group for one reason. He made people in the group uncomfortable. That's what it is. That was on both occasions. That's why I voted as such. So, but I will say this is kind of my final takeaway from this. This is actually going to be directed towards him, so I know he's going to be watching this anyway eventually. When we first let you go from S13 Motor, I was still cool with you. I really was. Because, I mean, again, we were associations, I guess. Not really friends, but, I was still cool with you. In fact, we were going to make a video, not bashing you, but basically saying what was going on. And I made very clear that we try to keep it as copacetic. They can both vouch for that I try to make it as away from it as we possibly could, even using our normal banter, because sometimes our normal banter does go on the ragey side at times. And that's whatever. That's who we are. Hey, love us or hate us, it don't matter. Point is, I wanted to make a special point by saying that before I even agreed to do the video. Just like those two, they even assured me that's where they were going to want. That's how they wanted to do it in the first place, anyway. But the point is, when they asked me to do this video, I was all for it, and the reason why is because I felt that you played us, because you act like you're genuine. You act like you're a victim. You act like, oh, it's all because everybody leaves me and all this other bullshit. Thing is, you don't treat a friend like you did. You don't treat a friend that had even if it wasn't even as traumatic as experience as what happened. Even if I'm having a bad day, or one of your friends is having a bad day, you don't get on there and make some generalized statement to get you goddamn freaking views or whatever the heck you were trying to do on social media with your little hashtags and then freaking not wanting to back any of it up. You DM me or DM the person. You ask what's going on. How can I help? Let's talk about this. How can I make you feel happy? You try to make jokes, you be friends. That's how you do things. What you did is disrespectful, rude, and it's just not being a good person at all. Honestly, it's kind of being a dick. Just putting that out there. But that's where I stand on this.
Alright, I would like to say some final words. And this is going to be, again, like Beast, directed towards Motor. Stop. Go ahead.
Don't forget that he tried to add you on Facebook today.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I will show that. And then I'll do my...
You can talk while you're showing it.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, so here it is. They seen the friends request I showed them, and I screenshot it. He tried adding me under this name. Now,
Today.
somebody didn't want drama. And that's one of the things he tried to say we're all about drama. Well, if you didn't want drama, why are you trying to add me on Facebook? But, going back to what I was saying, because I know Taro, besides the point, stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to fit in. Because you're making yourself look like a jackass. You're hurting people by doing it. You're making them feel uncomfortable. Because of you, people like me, people like Taro, we can't get the help that we need. Because guess what? The doctors think we're faking it. You need to be your own person and stop trying to claim everything. Claiming you're a Joker when you knew I was Joker long before you. Long before you met this chick. And saying that you're the real Joker, there is no real Joker. Joker and Harley, they're fictional characters. That's all they are. It's a nickname we have. It's our nicknames. But honestly, you're not going to keep your friends like you. If you keep going the way you're going, I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to keep your friends. That's how I lost all my friends. It's because I was just like you. You push people away. And you wonder why you get abandoned. It's because you don't treat people right. That's all I got to say.
I have one last thing to say since we're talking directly to him at this point. I did actually used to like you, but
I think we all did.
whether you believe that or not, but here's the thing. I pretty much was fine with you up until the point where I posted that video where I'm literally bawling my eyes out. It's the only video on my Instagram where I am crying that will not be deleted. Was incredibly vulnerable, and you made some kind of broad topic, and when I asked you how we do that, I was met with silence. And I don't take kindly to people trying to use me as a stepping stone. I will continue to try and hurt you because when you back an animal up into a corner, they're going to try and defend themselves. And it's pretty sad that I have to try and attack you, considering you were like us, and the only reason we removed you was because of people's uncomfortability. And we thought it would be more comfortable for you to be out of the group. That way everyone could be comfortable. Because coming into a group call where people weren't comfortable around you, I'm sure you could feel the tension. I'm sure it wasn't the most comfortable thing for you either. But I'm not a stepping stone. I am not a fucking monarch. I'm not going to be what are they called? A martyr. You don't get to attack me to try and make your point. I've had enough people try to hurt me, and I'm not going to take it from you. Also, trying to use Asperger's as an excuse as to why we kicked you out of the group, trying to say, you don't want me around because I have Asperger's, go fuck yourself. A mental illness is not an excuse, and people do not typically exile people for their mental illnesses, especially not a group where pretty much everyone in here has a mental illness. Go fuck yourself on that one. You're not special. You're an asshole. I'm done.
I think that's, well, she hit the nail on the head with that one. I was actually going to bring it up, but thank you for bringing it up. Because, and I'm going to say this on one last note, I don't discriminate against anyone.
That's true.
No matter what disabilities you have. You were let go for one specific reason, and that was because you made people uncomfortable.
Because
When
people don't know how to take
I'm
it.
going to let you know now, Motor, if you're watching this, people see this video, they're not going to want to be around you. They're going to look at this video, they're going to listen to everything we're saying, and they're just going to know, like, hey, this is not a good guy. And you're not going to have friends until you change your act. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Tell me what you think of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to Beast and Taro. What is your YouTube channel, Beast?
_S13 _ the Beast.
And yours, Taro? Taro Storm. Alright. _S13 the Beast and Taro Storm. So go subscribe to them. She's not hard to find. He might be a little bit hard to find. We got to get more videos on his channel. Anyways, guys, peace. You peace.
You accidentally delete that footage